Let me tell you something. Life has a quiet way of revealing what was hidden. Not always with a loud bang or a dramatic moment, but often in the silence. You sit there with a heavy heart, questioning why people walked away, why they hurt you, why they acted like they were with you when they never truly were. But here's the truth you might not want to hear. When you ask God for clarity, you are not just asking for direction. You are asking for truth. You are asking for vision. And sometimes that truth is not pretty. When you pray for guidance, God doesn't just light your path. He also illuminates what was hidden in the shadows. He shows you who was pretending. He removes the illusion and lets you see people for who they really are. It is rarely easy. It often hurts, but it is necessary. You may have thought they were your people, the ones who laughed with you, shared meals, shared moments, shared dreams. But not everyone who claps for you is cheering from a genuine place. Not everyone who sits beside you is invested in your well-being. Some simply like the light you carry, but they were never willing to walk with you through the dark. God hears what you do not. He sees what you miss. He is present in the conversations that never reached your ears and the looks exchanged behind your back. He knows the weight of words never spoken aloud, and when the time is right, He lets you see it, slowly, carefully, with grace and precision. A sentence that feels off, a gesture that does not match their words, a tug in your spirit that tells you something is wrong. And piece by piece, the puzzle begins to make sense. This is the answer to your prayer, but it is an answer that can leave you feeling like the ground has shifted. Because when the truth arrives, it can shake you. You look around and wonder how long you have been surrounded by people wearing masks. It is not that they suddenly changed. They were always this way. You just see it now. And that is a hard thing to carry. You may feel betrayed. You may feel angry. You may cry and ask why God allowed you to go through this. But understand this. His clarity is a gift, not a punishment. He is not revealing the truth to break you. He is doing it to protect you, to free you from false connections, to stop you from building a life on shaky ground. How many times have you stayed in relationships that drained you simply because you did not know the full story? How often have you ignored your instincts because the truth felt too hard to face? God knows that without clarity, you would keep repeating the cycle. You would keep giving your time and energy to people who only take. So He steps in. He intervenes. He lets you feel the weight of dishonesty. He lets you see the fake smiles and hear the words they never meant for you to hear. Not to cause you pain, but to help you let go. This is His way of pulling you out of the places where your soul was suffocating. His way of saying that you were made for more. But you must be willing to accept what He shows you. You cannot heal from what you continue to excuse. You cannot move forward while holding on to what is no longer real. Clarity often comes wrapped in discomfort, but do not confuse that discomfort with destruction. Sometimes it is the beginning of your deliverance. So let go of what you thought it was. Let the truth settle in. Mourn what you lost, but do not chase it. Let God do what only He can do. Let Him strip away what is false so you can finally stand on something true. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are not falling apart. You are being set free. That is the power of clarity, and that is the mercy of God. The most difficult part of clarity is that it demands action. It confronts you with truths you can no longer ignore. Once your eyes are opened, they cannot unsee what has been revealed. You can no longer pretend everything is fine. You can no longer make excuses for people who have already shown you who they are. Clarity brings a choice, and often that choice is one you have been avoiding. It may mean stepping away from relationships you believed would last a lifetime. It may mean creating distance between yourself and people you love because their actions no longer match their words. It may mean learning to stand on your own, trusting that God will sustain you even when no one else remains by your side. In those moments, it is natural to feel overwhelmed, to question if you misjudged, if you were the one at fault, if the heartbreak could have been avoided. But clarity is not God punishing you. It is Him growing you. It is His way of showing you what you need to see, so you can become who you were always meant to be. God is not just answering your request for understanding. He is answering your silent plea for peace, for healing, for joy that is genuine, for relationships built on truth, not on illusion. His clarity is proof that He is working for your good, even when the process feels painful. He is removing what does not nourish your spirit, making space for what will. And although you may not understand it while you are in the thick of it, there will come a day when you look back and see His fingerprints on every moment. You will see how the pain carved strength into your soul. You will see how the loss became a bridge to something greater. And you will realize that clarity was never just about others. It was about revealing something deep within yourself. It was about awakening you to your worth, to your strength, to your calling. And that realization, that inner truth, is what sets you free. There is a truth in life that we all face eventually. Not everyone who walks beside you is truly with you. And when you first come to understand that, it can shake you. Because we are built to trust. We want to believe the best in others. We assume that those who stay close to us share our hearts, our values, our intentions. But proximity does not equal loyalty. Just because someone is in your life does not mean they are in your corner. And when this truth reveals itself, it can cause you to question everything. You begin to see that some people are not walking with you out of love, but out of convenience. They benefit from being near your light, but they were never willing to carry it with you. They may celebrate your victories out loud, while secretly waiting for your fall. They may speak kindly in public, while harboring envy in private. Their support is shallow, their loyalty is situational, and their love is conditional. These are not always easy things to detect. Some people are masters of performance. They know how to say the right things. They know how to mirror your values just enough to stay close. But their presence is built on appearance, not on depth. And when life becomes difficult, when you need more than surface-level support, their absence will speak louder than their words ever did. They will vanish when you are no longer useful. They will withhold help when it costs them something. They will find reasons to step back when you need someone to lean on. That is when the truth begins to take shape. And on the other side of that truth are the ones who remain, the ones who choose to stay, the ones who carry your burdens as if they were their own. They show up when it is inconvenient. They choose you when it is not easy. Their loyalty is quiet but constant. Their presence is not for show, it is for love. God allows these moments of separation to happen, not out of cruelty, but out of protection. He knows that you cannot build something lasting with people who are only halfway invested. He knows that the future He has planned for you cannot be supported by relationships rooted in self-interest or deception. So He lets the truth rise to the surface. He gives you eyes to see who is standing near you and who is truly standing with you. And once you see the difference, you are free to make the choices you have been avoiding. You are free to draw the line, to close the door, to protect your peace. This is not punishment. This is preparation. God is refining your circle. He is surrounding you with those who are aligned with your purpose, not just your past. And in that process, you are becoming stronger, wiser, freer. Clarity is not always gentle, but it is always a gift. Seeing the truth can break something inside you. There's no use pretending otherwise. It hurts to realize that someone you trusted, someone you opened your heart to, was never truly standing with you. That kind of betrayal cuts deep. You find yourself going back over every conversation, every moment, searching for the signs you missed. You wonder how you didn't see it. You question your own instincts, your own worth. You start to believe maybe you were the problem. But the truth is, it was never about you. It was always about them. Their inability to love you well, to stand beside you with honesty and commitment, speaks volumes about their character, not yours. Once you understand that, something inside you shifts. You stop trying to convince people to care. You stop fighting for places where your presence is merely tolerated. You stop pouring your energy into relationships that only leave you feeling empty. And in that space, a new kind of freedom is born. You start making room for people who see you clearly and love you deeply. People who celebrate you without envy, who support you without conditions, who believe in your vision and show up not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. These are the ones who stand with you, not just beside you. These are the people who walk with purpose, who walk with loyalty, and who walk with you simply because they want to. There is strength in knowing who is truly in your corner. That kind of clarity is powerful. It teaches you how to set boundaries. It helps you guard your peace. It allows you to focus on what matters most. And even though letting go of those who only ever offered half-hearted loyalty is painful, it is necessary. Because you cannot rise to your full potential while surrounded by people who are only half invested. You need a circle that is committed, a foundation you can rely on, a team that reflects the values you hold close. So the next time you feel betrayed, misunderstood, or let down, remind yourself of this one truth. Not everyone who stands next to you is standing with you, and that is all right. It is not your job to convince anyone of your worth. It is not your job to fix people who are unwilling to change. Your only responsibility is to remain rooted in who you are, to stay faithful to your purpose, and to trust the path God is leading you on. The people who are truly meant for you will not need to be chased. They will walk with you through every season, no matter the cost. And that is all you need. When God begins to move in your life, He often begins by revealing what has been hidden. This process can be disorienting. It can feel like your world is unraveling, but it is always done in love. God sees what you cannot. He sees the conversations behind closed doors, the motives beneath the surface, the intentions masked by charm and smiles. He sees the relationships that drain your spirit, the situations that quietly pull you away from who you were created to be. Because He loves you, He does not leave you in the dark. He allows what is hidden to come into the light, not to punish you, but to set you free. And when this happens, it may feel like everything is falling apart. The people you trusted begin to show their true nature. The circumstances you once thought were blessings begin to reveal their weight. It feels like standing in a room where the lights have just flicked on, and you're suddenly aware of the mess you didn't know was there. But God does not reveal darkness to shame you. He reveals it to release you. He brings light not to expose you in pain, but to prepare you for peace. Darkness cannot survive in the presence of light. And once God illuminates the truth, you are no longer walking blindly. You begin to see clearly. You begin to step with intention. Like a room that was once cluttered and dangerous, now you can move through it safely. His light reveals what you must confront so you can finally walk forward without stumbling. Let's be honest, it is never easy. It is not easy to face the truth about someone you loved. It is not easy to admit that a situation you were fighting for was actually keeping you small. It is not easy to confront your own moments of denial, to acknowledge the ways you avoided what was real because it was more comfortable to pretend. But the light will not allow you to stay in illusions. When God shines that light, it forces you to see things as they are, not as you wish they would be. And that is one of the hardest but most holy moments you will ever experience. Because in that exposure, He is not breaking you. He is building you. He is clearing the path. He is shaping you for something greater. He is pulling you out of what was holding you back and preparing you for what is finally ready to carry you forward. This is not the end, it is the beginning. A beginning shaped by truth, a future lit by clarity, and a heart finally free to walk in peace. God never reveals darkness just to expose it. He reveals it to make room for His light. He clears away what no longer serves you so that something better can take its place. You cannot hold tightly to what is broken and expect to receive what is whole. You cannot remain in the middle of chaos and still hope for peace. You cannot cling to what is false and expect to encounter what is real. God knows this better than anyone, That is why he steps in. He removes the illusions. He clears the noise. He brings the truth to the surface, not to harm you, but to prepare you, not to shame you, but to make space for something greater. Every moment of exposure is an invitation, a gentle calling that says, "This is not what I've chosen for you. Let me show you what I've designed instead." But in order to receive it, you must release what has been holding you back. You must trust that the loss of something unfit for your life is far less painful than missing out on the goodness waiting for you. That takes faith. Faith that God's plan is better than your own. Faith that His timing is perfect. Faith that His light will lead you through even when the path feels unclear. This journey is not just about seeing others for who they really are. It is also about seeing yourself clearly. When God shines His light, it does not only illuminate what surrounds you, it also reveals what lies within. He brings up the fears you've buried, the doubts you've been living with, the habits and patterns that quietly hold you back. But He does this not to condemn you. He does it because He loves you. He knows that the person you are becoming requires growth. And growth only happens through awareness, through refinement, through surrender. God will not allow you to remain stuck in a place of limitation. His light was never meant to just brighten your situation. It was meant to transform your soul. And as this light grows stronger, something begins to shift. The relationships that once exhausted you no longer have a grip on your heart. The anxiety that once clouded your mind begins to fade. The heaviness you carried in confusion and doubt begins to lift. In its place comes peace, purpose, clarity. This is the power of God's light. It does not simply reveal darkness, it drives it away. And with every bit of darkness that disappears, the light takes up more space, filling the corners of your life with new strength, deeper hope, and lasting joy. But this process is not always quick, and it is not always easy. There will be moments when the familiar will call your name, even when it is not good for you. There will be moments when the truth feels too bright, too overwhelming, and you'll be tempted to turn back toward the comfort of what you used to know. But do not let fear convince you to settle. Do not let the temporary discomfort of change stop you from stepping into the greater things God is preparing. He exposes what is harmful because He knows what you truly need. He knows the people who will lift you higher. He knows the opportunities that will grow you. He knows the peace that will sustain you when everything else feels uncertain. But to receive any of that, you must be willing to release what is keeping you stuck. You have to trust that His light will guide you. Even when you cannot see every step, trust that the direction is divine. As you follow that light, you will begin to witness what He has been building for you all along. You will see how He was clearing the way, shaping your heart, and preparing every detail with love and intention. And through it all, pain will play its part. Pain is a teacher many try to avoid, but it is often the one that teaches us the most. While comfort keeps us still, pain pushes us forward. It strips away illusion. It forces us to confront what we have ignored. It breaks us open so that something new can grow. Without pain, there is no progress. Without struggle, there is no strength. Without difficulty, there is no depth to our soul. When we think of growth, we picture the beauty at the finish line, the success, the victory, the celebration. But we forget that the road to that place is rarely smooth. It is messy. It is filled with moments of heartache, confusion, and discomfort. Yet it is those very moments that stretch us. They reveal who we are. They awaken who we are meant to become. Think about the times you felt most lost, most hurt, most tested. Those were the moments that shaped you. They made you wiser. They deepened your compassion. They gave you resilience. They uncovered strength you didn't know you had. And through it all, God was with you. He was not only watching, He was working, He was guiding, He was refining. Every tear, every step, every painful truth was part of a greater plan. A plan that leads to purpose. A plan that leads to light. So trust the process. Trust the pain. Trust the light. Because what God is revealing, healing, and preparing is far greater than anything you could ever imagine. Let's be honest. Pain is never comfortable. It is messy. It is unpredictable. It arrives without warning and takes on many forms: heartbreak, failure, disappointment, loss. It shakes you to your foundation and leaves you questioning everything. You may find yourself asking why this is happening, what you did to deserve it, and whether things will ever get better. These questions are part of being human, but sometimes they cloud the deeper truth. Pain is not here to destroy you. It is here to transform you. It comes to wake you up, to pull you out of places where you have been stuck, to break the illusion of control and push you towards something greater. Pain, though unwelcome, often carries the invitation to grow. That growth rarely happens overnight. It takes time, it requires patience, it demands courage and faith. Healing does not come in a single moment. Scars form slowly, lessons settle in gradually. But if you lean into the process, if you allow yourself to feel instead of flee, you will find that pain is not the end. It is the beginning. It is the opening of a new chapter, one where you learn more about who you are, one where you uncover strength you never knew you had, one where you begin to rise into a version of yourself that was waiting to be born. Pain has a way of stripping away the noise. It removes the distractions and clears the surface so you can see what truly matters. When everything else falls apart, you begin to see what remains: the people who love you, the quiet moments that bring peace, the sunrise, the laughter of someone dear. The small, sacred moments you once overlooked become anchors of gratitude. Pain brings you back to the basics. It reminds you of what is real. And while it is deeply personal, it is also something that connects us all. Everyone, no matter where they come from or who they are, has experienced it. In that way, pain becomes a bridge between souls. When you've suffered, you become more compassionate. You become more willing to listen, more ready to reach out, more capable of loving someone through their own struggles. Your wounds become a source of healing. Your story becomes someone else's encouragement. In that sense, pain is not only a gift to you, but to those around you. Not because it feels good, but because it grows something good within you. This is not about glorifying suffering. It is not about pretending it doesn't hurt. It is about recognizing that pain has a purpose. Every tear, every heartbreak, every setback. These are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones. Each one shapes you, teaches you, prepares you for what comes next. Growth is rarely easy. It often comes through seasons of deep discomfort. But what you gain from walking through pain cannot be taught by comfort. The strength you're building now is the strength you'll lean on tomorrow. The struggle you're facing today is shaping the resilience you will need for the road ahead. The heartbreak you've endured is softening you, making room for deeper empathy, for richer love, for stronger connection. Pain is not your enemy. It is a teacher, a tool in the hands of God. He uses it not to harm you, but to refine you, to mold you, to prepare you for the life He's calling you to live. So, when pain comes, don't run from it. Don't numb it. Don't pretend it doesn't exist. Sit with it. Acknowledge it. Let it speak. Let it show you what needs to be learned. And then, when its work is done, let it pass. Because pain is not meant to stay. It comes to do its work, and then it leaves. And when it leaves, it makes room for healing. It makes room for clarity. It makes room for a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more grounded than ever before. Pain is not the whole story. It is only a chapter. And if you can endure it, if you can trust the process, you will emerge with a deeper appreciation for life. You will carry a stronger sense of purpose. And you will walk with a quiet confidence in your own strength. You will realize that the very pain you thought would break you was the very thing that built you. And in that realization, you will find peace. Sometimes we hold on tightly to people or situations that God is clearly asking us to release. It could be a relationship, a job, a friendship, or even a way of thinking. We cling to them because they feel familiar, because they feel safe, because they once brought us comfort. But what we often fail to see is that in holding on to what is no longer right for us, we are holding ourselves back. We are closing our hands to the blessings God is trying to give us. We are chasing after what God has already started to remove. Letting go is not always a loss. Sometimes it is the only way to step into the life that is waiting for you. Trust that what feels like an ending may actually be a beginning. Trust that what feels like pain may actually be preparation. Trust that what God is removing is making space for something better. And when you finally release what was never meant to stay, you'll discover that God had something greater all along. God does not take things away to harm us. He does it out of love. He does it to protect us, to grow us, and to lead us towards something greater than we could ever create for ourselves. It may not feel like kindness in the moment, but it is always rooted in grace. When God begins to remove something from your life, the process can feel unsettling. You may notice doors closing that you desperately wanted to keep open. You may feel relationships slowly slipping away that you hoped would last. You may watch opportunities fade, ones you were sure were meant for you. And in those moments, confusion is natural. Frustration creeps in. Doubt whispers. You begin to question why this is happening. You wonder if you've done something wrong. You may even feel forgotten by God. But the truth is, His removal is not rejection. It is preparation. It is not punishment. It is positioning. God is making space. Space for what is better. Space for what is right. Space for what aligns with the purpose He has placed on your life. We resist this process often without realizing it because we believe we know what's best. We cling to what we see, while God is working from the view of eternity. He sees what we cannot. He knows the battles ahead. He understands the weight of the blessings that are coming. He sees the hearts of the people we are trying so hard to keep. He knows the truth behind the situations we are chasing. He knows the consequences of the paths we are desperate to follow. When God takes something away, it is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of mercy. He is guarding you from harm you cannot see. He is guiding you toward good you are not yet ready to understand. But the letting go is hard. Human nature craves comfort, even when comfort is keeping us stuck. We want control. We want clarity. We want the full picture before we're willing to release what is in our hands. But that is not how faith works. Faith is believing God knows what He is doing, even when we do not. It is trusting that His plan is better, even when it feels painful. It is surrendering to His will, even when it means walking away from something we thought we wanted. Clinging to what God is trying to remove only delays the healing. It holds us in cycles of frustration. It blocks the blessings meant to find us. And whether we say it out loud or not, chasing after what God is pulling away is another way of saying we don't fully trust Him. That we believe we know more than the one who formed us, but God is patient. He does not force. He waits. And when we are finally ready to open our hands, we begin to understand why He allowed the loss. Sometimes He removes people because they are not meant to go where you are going. Their role in your life was real, but it was also temporary. The chapter they were part of is complete, and continuing to hold on will only slow your growth. It does not mean the connection was meaningless. It means their season has ended. Other times, God closes doors to opportunities that looked perfect from the outside. But those doors may have led to places that would not fulfill your soul, that would not stretch you in the right ways, that would not bring you closer to your purpose. What feels like disappointment is often divine protection. When God removes something, it is because He has something better in store. But we cannot receive what is better while clinging to what is lesser. Imagine trying to hold a new gift while your hands are full of things you refuse to let go. You simply cannot. You must release what is heavy to make room for what is holy. You must set down what is weighing you down to embrace what is meant to lift you higher. Letting go is not weakness. It is strength. It is an act of faith. It is a bold declaration that you trust God to fill the empty spaces with His goodness, His grace, and His provision. The process can feel lonely. At times it may feel like you are losing more than you are gaining. But do not forget, God never takes without giving. He never removes without purpose. What feels like a loss today may be the very thing you thank Him for tomorrow. His timing is perfect. His plan is unfolding exactly as it should. It is also important to understand that God's removal is not only about what He takes away. It is about how He shapes us through the process. Just as a gardener prunes a plant to encourage new growth, God prunes our lives so that we can flourish. He removes the dead branches, the toxic attachments, the habits and priorities that are keeping us small. It is not always gentle. It is rarely easy, but it is always necessary. Without pruning, there is no growth. Without release, there is no progress. Without trust, we remain stuck. So let go, not because it is easy, but because it is right. Let go of what God is removing. Let go of the fear. Let go of the need for certainty. Make room for what is coming. Make room for what will nourish you. Make room for the life you were created to live. Because what God has for you is not behind you. It is ahead, and it is worth the wait. Letting go does not mean forgetting what was. It does not mean dismissing the value of your experiences or pretending they never mattered. It means releasing them with gratitude. It means trusting that God sees what you cannot and knows what is best for your future. Letting go is an act of surrender, a decision to believe that His plan is greater than your own, even when the path ahead is unclear. So when God begins to remove something from your life, do not chase it. Do not fight to keep what He is gently taking away. Lean into the process. Trust that He is working all things together for your good, even when nothing around you makes sense. Believe that what is coming will be better than what is leaving. And know with confidence that one day you will understand why things had to unfold the way they did. There comes a time in life when you face moments that feel deeply unfair. Someone betrays you. Someone hurts you on purpose. Someone takes something from you that you cannot replace. In those moments, the instinct is to fight back, to seek justice, to make sure they feel what you felt. But true wisdom is found in trusting God with justice. It is not about ignoring what happened. It is about handing the weight of the situation to the one who sees the whole picture. Letting God take care of justice requires faith. It requires patience. And it requires a deep understanding that His ways are higher than ours. When we try to take matters into our own hands, our decisions are often driven by emotion, anger, pain, the desire to get even. While these feelings are real and valid, they can cloud our perspective. They can lead us down roads that do not bring healing. Revenge might offer a moment of relief, but it does not heal wounds. It does not restore peace. It does not change the past. God's justice is different. It is not emotional. It is not impulsive. It is rooted in truth, guided by wisdom, and wrapped in love. When you trust God to bring justice, you are releasing the burden of revenge. You are stepping away from bitterness. You are giving yourself permission to focus on healing. You are also acknowledging that only God truly understands what happened. He knows the hidden motives. He knows the things that were never said. He knows the full truth, not just the version that others see. His timing is perfect. His response is always purposeful. And His justice always serves a higher good. Letting God handle justice does not mean pretending everything is fine. It does not mean denying your pain. It means letting go of the need to retaliate. It means choosing peace over bitterness. It means refusing to carry a burden that was never meant to be yours. And yes, one of the hardest parts of this surrender is the waiting. You may never see the outcome you imagined. You may never watch the person who hurt you face consequences in the way you expected. But trust this truth. God has not overlooked your pain. He is not indifferent to your suffering. He is a God of justice. He will act on your behalf in the right way and at the right time. His justice is not only about punishment, it is also about redemption. His goal is not to destroy, but to restore. Sometimes this means the person who hurt you will come to a place of repentance. Other times it means He will use the pain to refine you, to strengthen your spirit, and to bring you closer to Him. Either way, His justice always leads to something meaningful. It always has a purpose, and it is always born out of love. When you let God take care of justice, you are not being passive. You are being strong. You are rising above the situation. You are showing that your character is not defined by the actions of others. You are choosing the higher road. You are choosing faith over fear. And you are declaring that your peace cannot be taken by someone else's wrongdoing. Letting go of your need to seek justice does not mean letting go of accountability. It is still important to set boundaries. It is still necessary to speak your truth and protect your peace. But once you have done your part, the rest is out of your hands. Trying to force outcomes or manipulate justice only leaves you exhausted. It keeps you stuck in cycles of anger and disappointment. It steals your focus from the life God is calling you to live. So trust Him. Let Him carry the weight. Let Him write the next part of the story, because what He brings is always greater than what was lost. And the peace He gives cannot be shaken by anything or anyone. Forgiveness is an essential part of the healing journey. It is not about excusing what was done or pretending that the pain never existed. It is about freeing your heart from the weight of anger, resentment, and the need for revenge. Forgiveness is not about letting the other person off the hook. It is about handing them over to God and saying, "This is too heavy for me. I trust you to carry what I cannot." True forgiveness is not weakness, it is freedom. It allows you to breathe again. It gives you the space to heal. It opens your heart to peace and allows you to move forward without dragging the chains of bitterness behind you. There is peace in knowing that justice does not rest on your shoulders. You do not have to be the one to fix it all. You do not have to figure out how to balance the scales. That responsibility belongs to God, and He is more than capable of handling it in ways you may never imagine. Your role is to focus on your healing, to protect your heart, to stay rooted in love and grace while trusting that God sees everything. He knows the truth. He understands the pain, and He is working in ways you cannot yet see. Sometimes you will witness God's justice unfold in front of you. Other times it will happen quietly, behind the scenes, in ways that are beyond your understanding. Whether you see it or not, you can rest in the assurance that God never turns a blind eye to your hurt. He is always working toward healing, justice, and restoration. Letting God handle justice is not the same as giving up. It is about letting go. It is about releasing control and trusting in His timing, His wisdom, and His greater purpose. Even in the midst of injustice, God is weaving everything together for your good. His plan always leads to redemption, even when the process is painful. And in that surrender, you will discover peace. You will gain a deeper understanding of His faithfulness, His mercy, and His unwavering love. Life will sometimes break us open. It hands us wounds we never asked for. Through betrayal, disappointment, failed relationships, and unfulfilled expectations. These wounds can leave us feeling empty, lost, and deeply shaken. And in those moments, it is tempting to dwell on what was taken, to replay what happened, or to seek revenge as a form of resolution. But healing does not come through holding on to the pain. It comes from within. It begins the moment you choose to face your wounds instead of hiding from them. You cannot begin to heal from what you are unwilling to acknowledge. It is okay to admit that you are hurting. It is okay to say you are struggling. There is no strength in pretending everything is fine. True healing begins with honesty. It requires space to feel, space to process, and space to understand. It asks you to sit with your pain long enough to learn from it, but not so long that it becomes your identity. Healing is not about erasing the pain. It is about learning how to live beyond it. And as you begin to heal, something else starts to grow. Growth, the quiet companion of healing. Growth is the gift that pain leaves behind when you allow it to teach you. Every wound carries a lesson. Every setback offers the chance for a comeback. Growth happens when you stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" It is in the rebuilding that you discover strength. You take the broken pieces and shape something new, something wiser, something more resilient. You become someone you never imagined you could be. The journey of healing and growth is deeply personal. No one else can do the work for you. Others can offer love, support, and encouragement. But the path is yours to walk. It is a path of release, letting go of resentment, letting go of blame, and letting go of the need for closure from those who hurt you. You do not need their apology to begin your healing. You only need your willingness to move forward. Healing is not a straight line. Some days you will feel strong. Other days you may feel like you are falling back into the pain. That is okay. Healing is not about perfection. It is about perseverance. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep choosing growth. Even when it feels slow, even when it feels hard. Celebrate every small step, every time you speak kindly to yourself, every time you set a boundary, every time you choose peace over bitterness. These are victories worth honoring. Growth takes patience. It requires intentional effort. It is not just about moving past the pain, but becoming more because of it. Use this time to discover who you are, reconnect with your values, reflect on what matters to you. Ask yourself what kind of life you want to create from this moment forward. Read books that inspire your spirit. Spend time with people who bring light to your days. Engage in activities that bring your soul peace and joy. Nurture your heart like something sacred, because it is. In the end, you will look back and see how the pain shaped you. You will see that it did not break you. It refined you. It guided you back to yourself. And that, more than anything, is the beginning of a new kind of freedom. Growth is not about becoming someone new. It is about uncovering the strength, wisdom, and potential that have always lived within you. Healing reveals these parts of you. It calls them forward. It makes space for you to step into your true self. One of the most challenging parts of this journey is learning to forgive, not only others, but yourself. Forgiveness is not about minimizing what happened. It is not about pretending the pain was justified. It is about releasing the hold that bitterness and shame have on your heart. When you forgive, you are choosing peace over anger, freedom over resentment, healing over blame. Forgiving yourself matters just as much. We all make mistakes. We all fall short. Carrying shame will only slow your growth. You would show grace to a friend in your place. Offer that same grace to yourself. True healing also requires a shift in focus. It is easy to stay wrapped up in what others did, how they failed you, or how life fell short of your hopes. But the more you dwell on them, the more you give them power. The truth is, they no longer control your story. You do. So ask yourself what you need to feel whole again. What small step can you take today to move toward joy, peace, and purpose? Focus on your journey, not theirs. You are the one holding the pen now. Self-care is not a luxury in this process. It is essential. Healing and growth take emotional energy, and you must protect your well-being. Rest when you need to. Nourish your body with food that energizes you. Move in ways that bring you comfort. Create moments of joy, however small. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It is the foundation for everything else. Another powerful tool for healing is gratitude. It may feel unnatural to practice gratitude when you're hurting, but it can change everything. Gratitude doesn't ignore your pain. It shifts your perspective. It reminds you of what is still good, still present, still beautiful in your life. Each day, take a moment to name one thing you are thankful for. A kind word, a soft breeze, a moment of quiet. Over time, this practice becomes a light that guides you through the dark, helping you to see your life not just through pain, but through possibility. As you continue this journey, know that it is more than okay to ask for help. Healing does not require you to be alone. Speak to someone you trust. Seek out therapy, support groups, or friends who truly see you. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is courage. Asking for help is not failure, it is strength. Let people walk with you. Let them remind you of your worth when you forget. Let them celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Healing and growth are not about erasing the past. They are about transforming it. They are about using what broke you to build something stronger. They are about turning ashes into foundation, wounds into wisdom, pain into purpose. This process is not easy, but it is worth it. Every step you take is a step toward the life you deserve, a life grounded in peace, purpose, and joy. You are capable of healing. You are equipped to grow. Trust the process. Embrace the path. Believe in the strength that lives inside you. The pain you feel today is not the end of your story. It is a stepping stone towards something greater. Life often brings challenges that shake us. Setbacks, heartbreaks, moments where it feels like everything is falling apart. In those times, it's tempting to believe that the past held more promise than the future ever could. You may look back with longing, wishing to return to what once felt safe or secure. But the beauty of life is not found in what has already happened. It is found in the promise of what is still unfolding. You may not see it now, but what lies ahead is filled with more hope than you can imagine. In the middle of pain, it is hard to believe in better days. Grief and struggle cloud your vision. But storms do not last forever, and neither does the sorrow. Every trial you face is a chapter, not the whole story. Each moment of adversity is shaping you, preparing you, strengthening you for what comes next. What feels like breaking down is often the groundwork for a breakthrough. You have faced darkness before and you survived. Remember the days you thought you'd never smile again, never breathe deeply again, never find light again. Yet here you are, stronger, wiser, more resilient. That is proof that healing is possible, that life moves forward, that seasons change. If you keep holding on, if you keep moving forward, no matter how slowly, you will reach the place you were meant to arrive. And when you do, you will understand why the road had to look the way it did. The best is not behind you. It is ahead. It is waiting to meet you. It may not look exactly how you envisioned. It may be better, more beautiful, more meaningful than you ever dared to expect. So keep going, keep growing, keep rising. Because you are not defined by the pain. You are defined by your courage to rise above it, and you will rise. The challenge many of us face is that we hold on tightly to our plans, our dreams, and our own timelines. We become so attached to the way we think life should unfold that we miss the bigger picture. We believe we know what's best for us. But God has a way of gently removing what we think we want and replacing it with what we truly need. And trust this, what He has in store is far beyond anything you could dream up on your own. Right now, you might be confused. You might be wondering why you had to lose that job, why a relationship fell apart, or why you're struggling while others seem to thrive. It's okay to ask those questions, but know this. Your challenges are not punishments. They are preparation. Life is shaping you. It is refining your character, stretching your faith, and preparing your heart. So when the right moment comes, you will be ready. You will have the strength to fully embrace the blessing. You will have the wisdom to hold it with care, and you will have the gratitude to never take it for granted. The best is yet to come because life is full of second chances. It is full of fresh starts and new opportunities. Every day you wake up is a new beginning. It is another chance to write a new chapter, to chase your dreams, and to walk in purpose. It is never too late. Whether you are 20 or 70, there is still time to build a life that excites you, a life that fulfills you, a life that reflects the depth, power, and beauty that already lives within you. Your age does not limit your future. Your past mistakes do not disqualify your purpose. Your current situation does not define your destiny. These are not obstacles. They are stepping stones towards something greater. Faith is the key that opens the door to that greater future. Faith is what moves you forward when everything around you is telling you to stop. It is the quiet voice that says, hold on, keep going. There's more waiting for you. Faith does not promise a life without difficulty, but it promises a destination worth every step. When you walk in faith, you carry a hope that nothing and no one can take from you. The best is yet to come because growth is always possible. Life is a journey of becoming, Every season, even the difficult ones, carries a lesson. Even when nothing seems to be changing, even when you feel stuck or forgotten, growth is happening deep within. And when the time is right, that quiet, hidden growth will rise. It will bloom into something beautiful. Your struggles will become your strength. Your setbacks will pave the way for your comeback. And your losses will open the door to something even greater. Sometimes the best cannot enter your life until you are willing to release the past. You cannot move forward if your hands are still holding on to pain, grudges, or dreams that no longer match who you are becoming. Letting go is not forgetting, it is choosing to make room. Room for new opportunities, room for real joy, room for unexpected blessings. Sometimes healing begins when you create space for what is meant to find you. Gratitude is another powerful key to embracing the future. When you focus on what you already have, your heart begins to shift. Gratitude helps you see your life not through lack, but through abundance. Not through disappointment, but through hope. Not through fear, but through faith. Even in the waiting, even in the struggle, there is still something to be thankful for. A kind word, a deep breath, a moment of peace. Gratitude reminds you that light still exists, even in the storm. So keep going. Keep believing. Keep holding on to the hope that tomorrow can be better than today. Because it can, and it will. Life is full of unexpected turns. Often the best things come when you least expect them. Trust the process. Embrace the journey. Know that what you are walking through now is shaping you for something incredible. Nothing is lost when you stay grounded in the present. Everything you've been through is building you for what is coming. The best is yet to come. Not because life is perfect, but because you are resilient. You are filled with purpose. You are brave enough to let go of what was and open yourself to what can be. And when you release what is false, God will fill your life with what is real. Real love, true peace, authentic connection, lasting joy. So do not let betrayal break you. Let it build you. Let it make your faith deeper. Let it refine your trust in the one who sees all things. God does not only expose what is false, He also reveals what is true. And when you walk in faith, He leads you not just to healing, but to victory. Stay strong, stay faithful, stay true to who you are becoming. The best is not behind you. It is waiting ahead, and it is more than worth the wait.